Hey guys, so today winter's in full force. I have my fleece. That's all I care about. Is this even fleece? I don't think it is. I don't know what it is. It's fluffy though. Anyway, today we've got mini tea, but also in the last few videos, I've been asking you guys for engagement just for funsies. And somehow, somewhere, every video has just more comments than the previous. So like, I'll ask for comments, you guys give them to me, and then I'll ask for comments again, and you guys give me more, and then I'll ask for comments again, and you guys give me yet more. Does that even make sense? So I'm just wondering if this video can beat last comments, and then will the next video after that beat the comments before that? Like, are we just going to get to like a random 10,000 comments when we literally started on 1.5k and we're at like 8.5 now just on like a regular video? So like, will we get to 10k on just like a very average video? You guys let me know. Also, like this video so that we can get a good like to dislike ratio. Also, social media, second channel in description. We have a few videos going on there. I had like a week and a few days break, but we're back to posting on there, so subscribe to that. Also, today's video is sponsored by Adam and Eve. Thank you, Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve is an online adult store, and if you go on adamandeve.com and use code Angelika, you will get 50% off one item with free shipping to US and Canada. Some exclusions apply. Now, a few more extra bits and pieces about Adam and Eve. 20% of profits go to helping fight HIV around the world. They've been in business for over 50 years. You have 90-day hassle-free returns, 24/7 customer service, as well as discreet packaging. So like I said, if you go on adamandeve.com and use code Angelika, you will get 50% off one item, free shipping to US and Canada. Some exclusions apply. And let's get into the tea. So recently, Tana Mongeau filmed an apology video, which didn't go over so well. And she then came out with, I believe it was either an Instagram or a Snapchat story, they all look the same to me, where she said that she'll be filming an explanation to her apology video. Now, that still hasn't come around, but she has posted a things Tana Mongeau can't live without. And in that video, she did that whole thing that I spoke about in my last video, where she said you have to vote for Biden and give her proof, and then she'll send you her nude, which is actually electoral fraud, which is great. It was that video. But yeah, there's still no explanation to the apology, so I'm waiting patiently to see what she says about her apology. And then do you guys think there'll be an explanation to the apology? I wonder where this will go. It will just be like a chain, like, you know, on TikTok when you do like a duet and then it just like goes from a small picture all the way to the big picture. There'll be Tana Mongeau and her explanations to her apology. Also, in my last video I spoke about the fact that Shane Dawson temporarily came back to the internet to promote his fiancée Ryland's new talk show that he's doing, which is essentially a podcast, but I guess it's kind of a talk show because they're talking on a show, but it's a podcast with his co-host, and it's called The Sip. Now, why is that? Because they're going to talk about celeb gossip and drama. From what I remember, during the whole Dramageddon 3 situation that has happened, Ryland was very anti-tea, drama, stuff. You know, they're both so against tea and drama. So it's kind of funny that he's now going to be profiting off of other people's drama, because I guess celebrities are different from YouTubers. And I guess YouTubers shouldn't be going through drama and scandals and shouldn't be called out for anything, but celebrities, that is a different story. I just find it hypocritical. Like, if you don't like tea and drama, why are you profiting off of tea and drama? I just want to know. I just have a few questions. Also, recently Kat, who works for Insider and wrote the article about Jeffree Star that I can't really talk about, but it's on my Twitter. I have retweeted it, so if you guys want to read it, it's on my Twitter, which is in my description. Go and read it. It's about Jeffree Star. So then she tweeted out saying Jeffree Star has yet to publicly respond to new something allegations against him, but he did block me after my article came out, which you can read here in my Twitter retweets. It's there. She has now also posted a thread of proof regarding the article, so if you were kind of in doubt, it's there. It's on her Twitter account. I recently spoke about, why did I just do that? Also, I recently spoke about, I did it again, Jeffree Star's ex-boyfriend that he was kind of seeing, and there was a lot of like, you know, misinformation being spread. There was like backup accounts and fake accounts and report this account, don't believe this account, believe this other account. I don't know anymore. But he did post on his actual official Instagram, get me to 100k subscribers, I'll spill the star tea, #GetOut. Nikita Dragun recently posted this tweet and Nyma Tang replied this, and James Charles liked the tweet and then he deleted it and then he posted this. And then actually Margot Indigo posted that somehow it's a coincidence that Nikita Dragun is coming out with new makeup, so it's kind of crazy that we're starting drama for no reason. And then Nikita actually tried to like backpedal a little bit, and she posted, I know it's a joke to comment on my race, but I'm really tired of having to defend myself on every post. She's Hispanic today. I'm Hispanic every day. My mum is Mexican. My dad is Asian. I'm mixed at the end. But the thing is, no one ever's like, oh, she's Hispanic today, because I think we all kind of know that she's mixed. We have a problem with you pretending to be black. Like, that's what we have an issue with. But you're not going to say that because you have no way to defend it. She does the braids, she wears a do-rag, and then she tries to explain the function of a do-rag to black women who are offended. She makes herself look a lot darker than she is. There is a fine line between just tweaking the way you look. You know, I could go out and tan maybe 2 or 3 shades and I would still look very much white. And then there is me turning myself into a whole different race. And yet not being treated like that race, you know? Because Nikita, as much as she appropriates features of a black woman, she is never being treated like a black woman, which is kind of the issue that black women have with cultural appropriation, is the fact that you steal what you want to steal without the consequences of having those features. Because black women cannot walk into their workplace a lot of the time wearing braids, but Nikita Dragun could probably have braids and walk into a workplace. So it's just kind of like taking things from people without the consequences of those things. You know, I guess that's what people are mad about, and rightfully so. Growing up mixed, I was never enough or fully accepted. I don't have to pick a side. I am not incomplete of my races. I do not lack anything. I am proud of all of me. Yes, but you are not black, or black in any capacity, not even like partially black. So once again, we're missing the point on purpose. And then someone replied saying, as you should, Nikita, and it's the difference between her looking white, like this white, and then looking not white. And then she goes, winter versus summer. And it's like, yeah, I get it, you tan, everyone tans, but we don't all look like a different race when we tan. Because what, you tanned, right? You went outside into the sunlight and all of a sudden braids popped out of your head. I don't know where the correlation is. And then someone actually replied to that and showed this, which was the Jeffree Star. You guys remember the tea with the Jeffree Star thing where she looked not white? And the fact that someone made her look like a black woman instead of, I don't know, employing a black woman to do this campaign. If they wanted a black woman, why would they turn a non-black woman into a black woman instead of just employing a black woman for the job? And this is the issue, once again, with cultural appropriation, is the fact that instead of brands employing black women, they take white women, make them look racially ambiguous, and then use that instead. You know? And she actually said, I was hired as a model. I didn't have any control over editing. I showed up, did my job, and left. This was a photo from the same day. And I guess that means she's throwing shade at Jeffree Star because he was the one that like approved the final picture, which then kind of adds another layer of like what to this. And then she actually posted just a peace out because I guess she was done, but the tweet's still up. So that's really cool. Tana Mongeau actually lost her verification on YouTube, like the tick next to your name. And people are wondering if it's because she actually changed her name. Because I don't know if you guys know, but if you change your name on YouTube, you then have to like reapply for the verification. It kind of disappears. So she could have changed her name, or she could have lost her verification due to the electoral fraud. So I just wanted to add that in because people like TMZ are talking about it. James Charles has started really shading Instagram. It was kind of like one tweet here and there. And then now he's actually posted stats, which makes it worse because now we're actually seeing like the effect of Instagram. I don't know if you guys know, but Instagram is completely changing their algorithm where they're essentially prioritizing where they make money. So ads and sponsored posts instead of people just, you know, posting to their followers. Most of the time if you post, you don't actually reach all of your followers. It's because they've changed the order that things appear on the timeline, when in reality they should be appearing in chronological order. However, I did see an interview between Mark Zuckerberg and Marcus Brownlee, who is like a tech YouTuber on YouTube. Because where else would he be? And I don't know if you guys know, but Mark Zuckerberg, well, essentially Facebook, took over Instagram a long time ago. That's why you kind of log in with Facebook for Instagram. So technically Mark Zuckerberg is the one that kind of decides on the algorithm behind Instagram. And the way he explained it is he finds chronological order to be more problematic than like a more algorithmic based order on the timeline, because he said Instagram accounts, when they had a chronological order, Instagram accounts that were kind of like trying to get their like product out there or something would essentially spam so that they would appear constantly on your timeline. And then he said to avoid that, they did an algorithmic timeline, which means it picks what the people actually want to see, which I guess technically makes sense, but somehow that kind of got lost in translation because people want their followers to see their posts. And I get it. Like, I get what he's trying to say. Like, Instagram accounts, more than any other social media platform, has a bunch of like clickbait, but like overly clickbait, like to the point where the thumbnail doesn't even appear in the video. Like it's just a whole different thumbnail. And yes, there used to be that thing where they would put in the like caption of a picture, comment your favorite color without being interrupted for like more engagement, or they would quite literally spam your timeline. So they would just keep on posting, and because they were posting all the time, they would just keep on appearing on your timeline. So I guess an algorithmic timeline would solve the issue. However, you do still want your followers to see your posts instead of just sponsored posts, you know, because all I'm seeing right now is ads on my timeline. And then I'll go through, I'll see 5 pictures and they'll be like, well, you're all caught up. And I'm like, well, I don't think I am because I'm following 300 people. Where are the rest of them? I can see both sides, but James Charles posted the first 2 screenshots of my Instagram photos last month. The second 2 are from photos this week. I've gained followers but decreased 75% in reach and engagement. I can't even imagine how detrimental algorithmic changes like this are for small influencers and businesses. So he used to get like 750,000 photo likes, maybe 300,000 with 17 million reach or 14 million reach. And now he's getting like a 5, maybe like 3 million reach with 100,000 or 60,000 likes, which is a huge decrease. And then he said, I'm not going to pretend like I'm not annoyed at the drop. It hurts my business, but I'm still getting my views and I use many other platforms to keep my business afloat. I want to share these numbers so people who do rely on this app for their business don't feel like they're alone. And I've seen many smaller accounts be really hurt by this, like indie brands, small people trying to grow like their following. It's not working out well. So I think, as much as I understand what Mark Zuckerberg was saying about the timeline being kind of like flooded by things, I think chronological did work a tiny bit better. And you know, there are platforms like YouTube and Twitter that still use chronological, so I think that works. The next thing is Manny MUA posted kind of like a ColourPop shade tea thing on YouTube. So recently ColourPop came out with the Hocus Pocus collection, which was actually delayed. It was supposed to come out on one day and then it came out on the next day because they had some Shopify issues. I ended up getting almost everything except for the liners. I got the 3 lipsticks and the eyeshadow palette. I didn't want the lashes and I didn't want the glitter. I did add the liners to my basket and they were out of stock literally the moment I clicked checkout. So that's that. But I got the most important thing, which is the eyeshadow palette. Now, people were sending the palette apparently to Manny MUA and saying that they copied the Lunar Beauty palette, the Moonspell palette, and I guess there are some similarities, but at the end of the day, makeup is kind of like done now. Like there is only so much you can do. And he did say that in the video, but obviously in the title he used kind of clickbait, like, you know, to grab people in. Love me some clickbait. And he just went over like some swatches, like, you know, just to see if the palettes are the same, and they're not. But he did mention that he got rid of his ColourPop affiliate link the other day, and he said that many other influencers got rid of their affiliate links too. So I'm wondering what's happening behind the scenes with ColourPop and influencers, and why so many influencers are getting rid of their ColourPop code. Like, is there some tea that we're unaware of? I don't know, but I want to know because I'm nosy. And the last piece of tea for today is I recently spoke about Ryan Trahan and Pham and how they had a video made on them. And the thing is, I never got around to watching the video because it was taken down by the time I got around to this piece of tea, because I saw it all in my DMs and I was like, oh, I'm not really that interested. And then when I got around to it, all I could see on it was commentary videos and drama videos on that video. So I never actually got to watch the original video. But now I wish I had did. Now I wish I had did. That was great English. But now I wish I had, because there was so much in there that I didn't realize was in there. And Ryan Trahan actually posted a video where he went over and essentially commentated everything that commentary video said, which I think was a great way to approach it. They both apologized for Greece again and apologized for any mistakes that they made, but they're right. They're super young. They're 19 and 20 now. So some of the mistakes they made were when they were like 17, 18, which is prime time for mistakes. Let me tell you that much. The video is called Ryan Trahan and Pham Need to Press Pause. He said, Ryan said that what he didn't realize is this commentary video was not like, oh, I'm just here to try and help you guys. Because that guy is grown. He has a wife. You know, he did his PhD. He's at a grown age. And he has been harassing Ryan and Hailey for over a year. He has been in group chats and like drama gossip websites to do with Hailey and Ryan, essentially telling everyone that they were going to be cancelled after this video. If you're just making a video to try to educate someone and just try to like point out some mistakes to them, I don't think using the word you're going to be cancelled is the best way to go about it. It makes you look toxic. Now, if I had known that, I would have already just like disagreed with that person, because I hate cancel culture. It's hold people accountable, educate them. But cancel culture, just randomly, no. I understand cancelling people like Jeffree Star when they're actually awful people, but people that just make mistakes because they're young and the mistakes are kind of harmless. In the grand scheme of things, of course, spreading misinformation is not harmless, but in the grand scheme of things, they're not as bad as other people. It's kind of toxic, you know? didn't know this, he mentioned their education. So actually Hailey dropped out a year before she finished college, and he was like, well, they should have encouraged her to keep on going with her uni because she was only a year away from finishing. I'm right here, I did the same thing. A matter of fact is I'm a way smaller channel than Hailey was when she dropped out, and let me tell you, she is financially fine. Let me just tell you that much. She is financially fine with the kind of views that she gets, with the fact that her videos are family friendly, with the fact that she gets as many views and as many subs as she gets. She's financially just fine, let me tell you that much. A uni degree was never going to give her the kind of money that she makes on YouTube. I want to make that crystal clear. I feel like sometimes people don't realize and can't fathom how much money YouTubers make. Like, it's a bunch. It's a bunch when you're literally the size of Ryan Trahan and Hailey Pham. Like, if you're that size of YouTuber, you are financially stable for the rest of your life. A college degree was not a great return on investment compared to YouTube, which you can start for free. And she was already successful on it, if that makes sense, right? And she is in no way promoting dropping out of uni. And like Ryan mentioned, she did actually do an interview with like a super rich man who promotes education. So she's in no way, shape or form telling her audience to drop out of uni because they're not in the same situation that she is in. Financial, like she is loaded. He also mentions how Ryan dropped out, but like he's also loaded. So what are we talking about here? He then mentions Hailey's existential crisis, which Ryan then mentioned, like her parents were going through a divorce. She was like clearly not having a great time. She was financially the one that was providing for her whole family, and at the age of literally 19 she is allowed to have an existential crisis, which is what most people go through many times in their life. Many people will have many existential crises, and that's perfectly fine. Like, there's no need to shame her for it. Like I said in my last video, I'm not a huge fan of Hailey and Ryan in the sense that they're just not my kind of personalities. They're very religious, they're very traditional, and that's just not something I vibe with. But that does not mean I'm just going to go against them just for the sake of going against them. When I need to defend them, I will defend them, and this is the time right now. Then he talks about her fashion, and he's like, you know, she at one point was kind of like self-conscious about wearing designer clothes out, and I think that is a valid point. I think there is a stigma around wearing more expensive things that kind of makes you like look like a brat, mainly when you're really young. Like if you're not like an adult, you're like young and you're wearing designer clothes, it makes you look like a brat. I understand where she was coming from. She didn't want to be judged prematurely, and now he's like, oh, now she's comfortable wearing her Gucci. And she's like, yeah, it's just called growth. It's called being used to the situation that you're in. I just don't think that's an issue. I don't know why that needed to be said. Anyway, then he mentions her content, how it went from like one thing to another thing. Yeah, that's called growing and evolving on YouTube. And it's literally the reason why she still has a career on YouTube, because she is constantly growing and evolving. If we go back to my Road to Irrelevancy series, which is where I used to go over people's statistics on YouTube and say why their channels died in the most respectful way I could, it was usually because they stuck to the same content for 10 years. You know, like if you want to live on YouTube, oh, I just smacked myself in the lip. Keep on evolving and growing. So the fact that she's evolving and growing with trends means she's going to be successful for a long time on YouTube. Then he talks about the house, and that is where he just completely lost me. I do understand what he was saying with, you know, you don't have to buy a house together, you don't have to get married, you're very young. I was kind of behind all of that. I was like, yeah, maybe people need to like think these things through. And then he said, buying a house when you're not financially stable is the worst decision of your life, and if your financial advisor told you to do it, then you should fire him. Let me first start off with the fact that properties are one of the best investments, one of the most secure and safe investments you can make. Buying properties is pretty much 99.9% of the time the best thing you can do with your money. The fact that he's like, oh, buying a house, so bad. He was acting like they don't have the money for the house. Once again, I feel like people can't fathom how much money YouTubers make. Let's just quickly go on one of their social blades. I just want to do a little experiment. Social Blade is essentially a platform that shows you a YouTuber's monthly and yearly and daily statistics. It also shows you an estimate of money. Now I'm going to explain to you guys how that works. So let's go on Hailey Pham. 2.3 million subs, and he's like, oh, she can't afford, and she's got a second channel with 700,000 subs, and you're telling me she can't afford a house? She could probably buy it with cash. Oh my god, she deleted some videos, which means I can't see how much money she makes. I'm upset about it. Let me go on Ryan. Also, Social Blade works in a way where if a YouTuber deletes or privates a video, then the views get all messed up and it goes into negative, and then it kind of shows zero money, because if you got negative views, then technically you can't make money, even though you did. Ryan Trahan, also 2.6 million subs, almost 300 million views. I love that for him. So he got about 5 million views in the last 30 days, which means he made anywhere between 10,000 and 160,000 in the year. However, that CPM is from 25 cents to $4, which is actually a pretty low CPM considering their kind of videos. They would probably have a CPM anywhere between $5 and $15, which means he's probably making around 300 to $500,000 a year, and that is on a bad month. Like, he's clearly not posting a lot. They're clearly not growing much right now. They're not posting a lot of videos, because 5 million views for him in a month is quite low. So I'm saying on like an average year, he probably is making 1 million and more. But right now, in like a bad year for him, he's making probably 300,000 to like 500,000. Tell me how and why you think them buying properties is a bad investment when they make that much money. Also, this is not their peak. They probably have a lot of money saved up, and like Ryan said, he already owns a lot of properties, so he's already got the investments. And he literally said that if he liquidated all of his investments, he would be fine without YouTube. If YouTube died tomorrow, he could liquidate all of his investments and he would be perfectly fine for the rest of his life. So I think speaking on people's financial decisions when you literally know nothing about their finances is quite stupid. And matter of fact is, no one actually knows how much YouTubers make. You don't know how much I make. I don't know how much Haley and Ryan make. I don't know how much James Charles makes. People make a lot of money outside of AdSense as well. There's, you know, investments, there's sponsorships, there's AdSense, there's brand deals, there's commissions, there's collabs, there's merch. You know, they have merch as well. So I just think it's kind of stupid to decide that they can't afford this house, because he literally said, what if you can't pay off the mortgage repayments? I'm pretty sure that they have all the money that they need for this house. Like, they could buy it in cash, but the smart thing to do is to get a mortgage so that you don't, you know, pump yourself dry. But if hit the fan, they could probably pay off the whole house in cash. So I'm here to defend Ryan and Haley. There is one part of them that I don't agree with. It's the contraception talk, but she did agree that it was like really bad to talk about it in such an uneducated way. And if she admitted her wrongdoings, then I'm fine with that. I'm hoping that she does, you know, sort the contraception thing out, and that she doesn't just rely on natural methods. But at the end of the day, as long as she doesn't promote those ideas, what she does with her own body is her own decision. And that's where I'm going to end today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, comment down below anything you want to comment down below, and subscribe to post videos every time something happens. Hit that bell, you'll be notified when that's happening. Social media links, second channel, and affiliate links, and any other links in description. I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.